Hello and welcome to the inaugural SJ Garden Competition Awards video. It is my honour to be announcing the 4 winners of our first ever garden competition. I knew we had some beautiful gardens within our Shire, but having seen the entries, I was blown away by the quality of what those gardens are. I would like to thank everyone who submitted their garden as part of our competition. They were all fantastic and are a reflection of just how many gardeners we have in our community. Our judges truly had a tough time awarding the winners. Before we commence the awards, I would like to give some background on the competition. The Shire elected to run the first ever SJ Garden competition as a way of both recognising the great home gardeners we have within our Shire and encouraging others to beautify their own spaces while reaping the health benefits and being active and outdoors. 4 categories were established to address the different types of properties we have across the Shire. These included the native garden, the Waterwise Garden, traditional garden and the rural garden. The competition focused on the front garden with an emphasis on the inclusion of the verge in the general design. Winners of each category will be awarded with a $200 gift voucher provided by local businesses. Mundijong Garden Supply, who provided 2 prizes, and the Australian Native Nursery and Forestvale Trees. Runner-up prizes of $50 were also provided by SJ Plant Supply. We are extremely grateful for your contribution. Now, on to the awards. The first category is the Native Garden, sponsored by the Australian Native Nursery. To be considered a native garden, the space had to include mostly native plants and have a more natural bushland feel with a little water required. So it is my pleasure to announce that the SJ Garden Competition Native category winner is Dore from Dowell. Gary's garden is a fantastically designed and maintained native garden with great use of rock features. Judges commended Gary for his plant choice and for the originality and creativity that he showed throughout the garden. We will now hear from Gary about his garden.
Been working on the garden for 6 years, just gone. Probably the last 18 months I've gone on to the next phase just to make it start looking like a natural garden and bringing in all the native fauna and flora. Try to pick a heap of easygoing plants. I sort of look after them for 12 to 18 months, and then after that they've pretty much got to survive on their own because I hand water it. I put in the water feature 12 months ago, and yeah, it's brought in frogs. The birds love it. They run up and down the waterfall and have a bath. I've got bandicoots, so yeah, I just love what it's attracted. If you build the habitat, they'll come, I guess. This was just a massive pile of rocks from the construction before they put the sand pad in, but yeah, it took probably a good 3 or 4 months solid work moving those, and once the rocks were in place, you seem to feel that, yeah, you're finally getting somewhere and you can start creating the garden.
Congratulations again to Gary. The next category is the Waterwise Garden, sponsored by Mundijong Garden Supply. With the Waterwise Garden category, the Shire wanted to support and encourage our residents to achieve excellence and innovation in their garden practices. So it is my pleasure to announce that the SJ Garden Competition Waterwise category winner is Yvette Dowell from Whitby. Yvette's attractive corner lot features a diverse native garden on the verge featuring a beautiful sandalwood tree. Congratulations, Yvette. We will now hear from Yvette about her beautiful garden.
We've been here 5 years, and I planned this garden before we moved in because this is our forever home. I started out with kangaroo paws and the ornamental grasses, native grasses. It's mostly made of native plants, and They only receive 3 minutes each on the reticulation system twice a week in summer. We have a purification system that they also love. It gives out clean water. I do an annual cull of anything that doesn't pass the test. I use mulch each year and fill it up when needed. I feed everything with power feed all purpose and annual watering of seaweed solution to make it grow nice.
Well done to Yvette on a beautiful garden. The next category is the traditional garden, again sponsored by Mundajon Garden Supply. The traditional garden category looks at the more well-known established gardens, which may include mostly classical garden plants, which may be chosen for foliage, structure or flowers and have a natural or formal design. It is my pleasure to announce that the SJ Garden Competition traditional category winner is Fiona McCallum from Serpentine. Fiona's neat, colourful and beautifully designed garden features roses and silver birch, with judges impressed by both the design and maintenance. Well done, Fiona, and now we will hear from Fiona about her beautifully designed and maintained garden.
This is my country cottage garden and we've been working on it for 5 years. The path through to the 4 rose gardens are the traditional part of the garden and my favourite part of the garden. So we created it to bring the birds in and a spot to relax. We love to sit out on the veranda at night. The bandicoots come out. We just sit and just look at the garden, and it is just relaxing and it's our space. I love all things French. I like the cottage feel, so any English cottage, French cottage.
Congratulations again, Fiona. What a great, bright, colourful garden. The next category is the rural garden, sponsored by Forestvale Trees. To be considered a rural garden, the property had to be greater than half an acre, with a more rural and often less formal design. It is my pleasure to announce that the SJ Garden Competition rural category winner is Ian Wheeler and Megan Bosc from Darling Downs. The duo have transformed their property into a spectacular rural retreat, teeming with bird life and highly productive tropical produce, featuring recycled materials and no irrigation. Ian and Megan will now discuss their space.
I've been working on the garden for a good 20 odd years. When I purchased the land, it was just a clear paddock, not a tree was here. It's just an ongoing progress. It never meant to be like this. It started off at just being having a home, but then you plant one tree and then it extends and extends, and then all of a sudden it escalates. But the beauty of it is that when you pick the fruit from what you've grown, when you pick the banana, it's thin and you can taste the creaminess in it. When you buy it from the shop, it's got a thick skin on it and it's nowhere near as sweet in that. Yes, I've made it known that it's probably about 95% of what you see here has been thrown out, and so it's a great surprise to people when they say, "They really?" And I go, "Yes." And my partner, she goes around what I call boutique shopping, but it's street shopping. And I'd encourage anybody that to use and recycle it because of what's here. It proves what you can achieve. And I'd encourage kids, definitely get kids, this is their future. We are only caretakers for the next generation. We have an obligation to give it to them better than what we've had it.
Congratulations to Ian and Megan for your outstanding rural garden, as well as our other 3 winners. Your gardens are all beautiful and inspiring. You should be extremely proud of what you have been able to achieve with your hard work. I hope these fantastic gardens have inspired you all to head outdoors and beautify your own home garden. And remember, getting outdoors in the garden isn't just enjoyable, but it is also a great way to stay fit, and I encourage all of our residents to get outdoors and get your hands dirty. And finally, a big thank you to our sponsors for providing the prizes for our inaugural SJ Garden Competition. Happy gardening, SJ.